All right. So picking up on the last half of 9.7, okay, we have a new theorem called Law of Cosines. Now this is when we have only the three sides and we don't have any angles. All right, and it's not a right angle. It's not a right triangle. So we can't use anything we've done before. Now, this is probably the longest, most complicated, most steps of anything we've done so far. Okay, and it looks nasty, but if you look at it and we practice it, you'll be fine. You just gotta go slow and steady. Okay, so basically, you can find any of the angles. And remember, the capital letters are our angles. So if you're trying to find A, we're going to use this one. Try to find B and C, so forth. And remember, you only have to do this once, usually, and then we can go back and use the easier law of sines to find the second angle, and then we can just add and subtract to find the third angle. So even though this is time consuming, you really usually only have to do it once. And let's get into it. Okay, so example 6. Solve the triangle. So we have angle B. So we're going to try to use law of cosines, okay, to find side B. So I misspoke before. You can have it with all three sides or only one angle and two sides. And that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to start by writing the formula again. So B squared is equal to A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cosine of B. Now, it seems complicated. You're not going to memorize this. We will provide this for you. You just have to know how to use it. And if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. We're working on B, and these are both the other two sides, A and C. Okay? So B squared, we don't know, equals 11 squared plus 14 squared minus 2 times 11 times 14 times the cosine of B. And now we're just going to crunch the numbers. Oh, sorry, my bad. We do know B. That's how we're going to crunch the numbers. 34 degrees. Okay, so just work with me. Go slowly. So we're going to say 11 squared plus 14 squared, is 317. Minus 2 times 11 times 14 is 308 times the cosine of 34. Okay? Now, I'm going to put it like this just to think about that right now. So now, B squared is equal to, and I put this in parentheses because on the calculator what we're going to do is we're going to type in if I can get my calculator to work. Oh, it's on marker mode. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to type in 317 minus parentheses 308 times cosine of 34. Close parentheses. Okay, and that's going to give me B squared is equal to 61, I'm just going to round to 0.7. Take the square root of both of those, I get B equals 7.9. Okay, so that tells me this is 7.9 right here. Now I have, in the last section, my magic ratio. All right, so I can now write, and now you're trying to find A or C, it doesn't matter. Just pick a letter. I'm going to go for A. Sine of A, and what's opposite A? 11. And we can do this with b also. It doesn't really matter. But here's my magic ratio. Sine of 34 over 7.9. Okay? Now, again, we're just going to cross multiply and solve. So 7.9 times the sine of a, which we don't know yet, equals the sine of 34 times 11. Now, I'm just going to divide by 7.9 here to cancel. And now, I just need to find out what this is as a decimal. So I'm going to hold my calculator again and do sine of 34, close it, times 11, divided by 7.9. And that gives me sine of a is equal to 0.7786. Now I use my calculator again to do the inverse sine. So I'm trying to find an angle. Second sine, 0.7786. And I get about 51.1. So A is 51.1 degrees. Right up here. And now at this point, I just add that to 34 and subtract from 180 and find out that C is 94.9 degrees. And I've solved the triangle. Okay. Let's do it again. This time we have all three sides, and that's it. So you choose. You know, well, actually, no, I'm sorry, not on this one. You don't choose. On this one, it's very important. Solve the largest angle. There's a complicated reason why you want to do that, but just take it from me. You want to solve for b first. So that means we're going to do b squared equals a squared, which is 12, plus c squared, which is 20, remember just the other two sides, minus 2 times those same numbers, 12 and 20, times the cosine of that angle we're trying to find. Now we just crunch the numbers. This is 729, this is 544 minus 480 cosine of b. We're trying to get to this, so first thing we're going to do is subtract the 544. And that gives me 185 equals negative 480. Keep the negative with that. Cosine of b. So what do? We just divide by negative 480. Basic algebraic problem solving. As if we were solving for x. And what it gives me is now cosine of b equals negative 0.3854. And now we just do the same thing we've done. Second cosine, negative 0.3854. 112.7. Okay? So B is 112.7 degrees. Okay? Now, we could do that again, but that's a lot of work. Let's just make life easy on ourselves and do the law of sines. Here's our magic ratio. Sine of 112.7 over 27 equals, now you pick A or C. I'm going to go with A. Sine of A over 12, because that's the side opposite angle A. Now I just cross multiply and divide. You should remember how to do this. I'm going to skip a step. Remember, it's going to be multiply by these two and divide by 27. So I'm just going to write that. 12 times sine of 112.7 divided by 27. Cross multiply and divide. Take my hand in calculator and literally type that in. 12 times sine 112.7, close those parentheses, and then divide by 27. And that gives me 0.4100. So sine of A equals 0.4100, doesn't really matter. Take my calculator again and do the inverse sine of 0.41. That gives me 24.2 for an angle. So A is 24.2 degrees, right here. And once again, make life easy. No trigonometry, just add those two together and subtract from 180, and you'll find out this is 43.1 degrees. And on to our last example, 8. And this we're not going to solve the whole triangle, so we only have to do one of the long steps of law of cosines. So it says this is a dinosaur walking right, left, right. And it says they want the angle to be as close to 180 as possible to be efficiently walking. So we're trying to find this step angle. Okay? So that means we're going to use, here's our B for B squared, here's our A for A squared, and here's our C for C squared. And so we just put the numbers in as we see them. So 316 squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2 times those two numbers, A, B, cosine of our angle, which we don't know. Now we just crunch the numbers. So they're pretty big. This is 99,856. This is 62,834 minus 61,070 cosine of B. Basic problem solving, we're going to subtract 62834 from both sides. And that's going to give me 37,022. And then negative 61,070 cosine of B. Again, we're trying to get this by itself, so we're going to divide by negative 61,070, both sides. Cancels. So the cosine of B is going to be a negative decimal, obviously, negative 0.6062. We take our calculator. We're going to do inverse cosine, negative 0.6062. And that tells me that dinosaur has a step angle, walking angle, of 127.3 degrees. And that's it.